Hello and welcome to Lecture Loops. Today we will learn about quicksort algorithm in data structures. Quicksort algorithm actually works on divide and conquer strategy. That means it divides the problem into sub-problems and then solve it. And it also follows the recursive approach to solve the problems, and it is also called partition exchange because it divides the array or partitions the array in sub-arrays. So that's why it is called partition exchange algorithm. And in a way it is better than merge sort because it does not require any additional memory space. Now we should discuss about the complexity of quicksort. So best case complexity of quicksort is order of n log n, while the worst case complexity is about order of n square. So in today's video, I will discuss about the algorithm, quicksort algorithm, and I will try to explain it with the help of an example, and then we will also implement quicksort in C language, and also I will tell you what is the factor on which the performance of quicksort depends. What is that one single factor on which the performance of whole quicksort depends actually, and what is the best strategy to apply quicksort algorithm. If you want to know all these things and you want to learn this and you want to master, then I suggest that you should watch the video till end. Now we'll see with example. So here I have taken an example, like there are some elements 7 4 6 3 5 8 1 9 2. These are some elements, 9 elements are there. And now what quicksort actually does. Quicksort basically selects a pivot element. You can select any element as the pivot element. So it selects a pivot element from this array, and then the whole thing, it partitions the array in such a way that all the elements which are lesser than the pivot element should be at the left hand side of the pivot element, while all the elements which are greater than the pivot element should be at the right hand side of the pivot element. In this way we can say that pivot element is sorted, means all the elements which are lesser than pivot element are on one side and which are greater than pivot element are on the other side. After that we will be having two sub arrays. Like at the left hand side we have one sub array which is not actually sorted, and at the right hand side we will also having array which is also not sorted. So these are our two sub arrays, and then we will apply the same strategy in these two sub arrays. So that is the basic thing of quicksort. So we will just see how it is going to happen. So first of all, this is the initial array in which no sorting is done. I have taken middle element. Okay, so I have taken middle element as the pivot element here, and now suppose let's yes. So the index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So I will take suppose low is equal to 0, which is the first index, and high we take it as 8. And then we will also take two pointers here, one is I and one is j. So we will assign the value of low in I, that is I will become 0, and we will also assign the value of high to j, that is j will become 8 here. So we are going to use these pointers to traverse the array. So I will move in this direction, like in this direction, and j will move in this direction. Okay, so initially j is at this index 8 and I is at index 0. Alright, so now we have selected the middle element as the pivot element, so we can simply write it as like middle is equal to basically low plus high upon 2, and we have selected our pivot element as array of mid. So basically our pivot element here is 5. Now we are going to compare. We are only concerned, we have to move these pointers I and j. And what is the condition? We are concerned about, two conditions here. Suppose, basically what we want to do, if some element is greater than, 5, and it is at the left hand side, then we should move it to the right hand side. And if there is any element which is, lesser than this pivot element, and but actually it is at the right hand side, then we should move it at the left side. So this is the basic objective. So for that we are only concerned about two cases. And for first case is, suppose array I, if array I is less than equal to pivot, whatever the value of pivot is. So while, here we will use while. So while array I is less than equal to pivot, we are going to do I plus plus. So we will move the pointer. Okay. In the same way, if, while array j, if it is greater than pivot, then what we are going to do? We will do j minus minus. Okay. So let's see. Suppose I is here. So we will see that array I is less than equal to pivot. 7 is less than equal to pivot. No. So we are not going to move I. Now we'll check for array j. So j is here. If array j is greater than pivot, no, it is not. So basically we are not going to do j minus minus. In this condition, so we have two elements here, 7 and 2, where 2 is less than 5 but it is at the right hand side, while 7 is less than 5 but it is at the left hand side. So we have to swap these two values. So for that, after this condition, what we are going to do is, if I is less than j, then swap array of I and array of j. So we are going to swap it. So 7 should come here and 2 should come here. Okay. So in this way we have swapped this, and now we should do, after swapping, what we should do, we should increment I and we should decrement this j, because after swapping I should be here, no need to compare it again. So we must increment I here and j should be decremented here. Like now what we have to do, we have to repeat the same step. Again we will check. While array I, is it less than pivot element? Yes. In this condition, it is less than equal to pivot. So in this case, we are not going to swap or do anything else, but we will increment I. So I will now be here. In the same way, j, if it is greater than pivot, yes. So in this case, then again we will do j minus minus. Okay. Now again compare, if array I is less than equal to pivot, no, so stop here. And in the same way, while array j is greater than pivot, no, so stop here. Again what we have to do, I is less than j, so we are going to swap these two values, 6 and 1. So first of all we will swap this, and so 6 should come here at this place and 1 should come here. So like this. Okay. Now again what we have to do, remember, I plus plus and j minus minus after swapping. So after swapping, what we are going to do, I plus plus and j minus minus. So I will now move here I and j also. Again compare, if array I is less than equal to pivot, yes, then do I plus plus. If array, we will check, while array I is less than equal to pivot, yes, again one more time, because it is equal. In the equal case also we have to increment I. So now I is here. Again we will check, if array I is less than equal to pivot, no. In this condition, the condition is false. So we will go in the second while loop, which is array j is greater than pivot. Yes, array j is greater than pivot. So we will go here. And then again we will check, if array j is greater than pivot, no. So we'll stop here. Now before swapping, remember we have to check a condition like if I is less than j, then only we are going to swap. Here in this case I is not equal to j, so we are not going to swap and our partition algo will stop here. Now you can say that after partition we have all the elements which are less than 5 are here at the left hand side, while all the elements which are greater than 5, these are at the right hand side. Even these arrays are not sorted, like 8 6 9 7 is not sorted, also 2 4 1 3 is not sorted, no problem, but 5 is at its sorted position. So in this way we can now we have two sub arrays and we will apply the same strategy to this left sub array as well as to this right sub array, and in this way subsequently we are going to we will be having a sorted array. All right. So now I think it is time to check the algorithm. So this is the algorithm, basically quicksort algorithm. So in the quicksort algorithm, like if low is less than high, we have to find the partition point. That is for this we will call this partition algo, which is partition low high, means we are going to send. Yes. Okay, so after partition algo, first of all we will call partition algo, and in partition algo what we are going to do, that I have already told you, I equal to low, j equal to high, and then we have find out the mid, and pivot is assigned as mid value. Then here what we have done, we are going to check these conditions while array I is less than equal to pivot. We can also put one more condition here, which is basically we can also check if I is less than equal to high, then only you should increment it. Okay, this is the condition. Suppose the element is the pivot element that you have selected, maybe it is the greatest number or the highest number. In that case we must provide this kind of validation. Also in j condition we can provide a validation like j should be greater than you or equal to low, so that it should not be decremented, it should not go outside the array scope. Okay. So it's like whenever array I is less than equal to pivot, we are going to do I plus plus, and whenever array j is greater than equal to pivot, we are going to j minus. We are going to do j minus minus, and at the point where we are going to stop, we will just check if I is less than j, then we are going to swap array I and array j. That we have done in this algo, in the example. And this we have to do till while I is less than equal to j. That condition you have already seen, where I has been incremented and j was less than I, and then that is the point there we should stop. And after that we have to then we have to swap the middle element as well as j, and the j will give us the partition point of the array. So you can see in this example also, j basically indicates the partition point. J is at the partition point, so j is the basically the partition point, so we are going to return j as the partition point here. And then when we get this partition point here, then we are going to again you remember we have to again recursively apply quicksort. So we will apply quicksort from low to partition point minus 1, that is like from low, this is low, to partition point minus 1. We are going to apply again the quicksort, and then from partition point 1 to high we have to again apply the quicksort algorithm. So this is written here like this, partition point plus 1 to high. In this way we can perform quicksort algorithm, which is very efficient algorithm. And now we will jump to the C program implementation. Okay. So first of all, please subscribe to my channel if you want more such type of videos, and you are a computer science student, then please subscribe to my channel. And also if you have any queries, or if you want to know if you want videos for some particular topic, then please comment and I will definitely make those videos. And let's start with the C implementation of quicksort. So I have already made this swap program here, where we are going to swap two values. This is a simple program, and I have taken, initialized an array here where there are 8 elements in this array, like 20, 50, 40, 90, 60, 10 and 70. Okay, and this is the printing logic that we will need for printing the sorted array at the end. So let's start with the quicksort logic. So first of all, we will make the partition program here, and for partition I have taken the return type as int here. This is the return type because we are going to return the partition point from here. Remember the j variable that we have to return, and that will be the partition point. From there the array will be partitioned into two sub arrays. So first of all, we will write the definition of this function, and like this we'll take 3 arguments here, which are the array and the first and the last index of the array. Okay, low and high. So now what we are going to do in the partition, so we'll take we will initial declare some variables here, I, j, and also I think we will need mid here, and the pivot element we need, so we'll take pivot. Okay, so like this. Now we have to put the value of I, we have to assign the value of low to I and value of high to j. Okay, so this is done. And what is mid actually? Mid, I have chosen the pivot element as the middle element, but this is not compulsory actually. So this is one of the possibility that is there. So we'll take the middle element as the pivot element. Okay, so pivot is actually array of mid element of this array, like this. Okay, so initialization portion is done. We have already initialized all the values. Now we'll start with the loop. So we'll use do loop here, and in this do loop we will I have already told you while explaining the algorithm that we are concerned about two cases here. So we are going to put both these cases here, like if array I is less than equal to pivot, then we have to do I plus plus. But here one condition we should put, like I is less than equal to high. Okay, then what we have to do? We have to do I plus plus. Okay, and in the same way for j we have to do. So while array of j it is greater than pivot, then we don't need to swap it. So we will simply decrement and we will move the pointer. Okay, so j should be greater than equal to low. So here what we have to do? J minus minus, simply move the pointer. Okay, so this is done here. Now what we have to do, when these pointers stop, that means swapping is required. So first we will check if I is less than j, then only we have to swap. So here we have to perform swapping, and we have already written the logic of swap. We have already written the function of swap. So we will simply call that function here, and because we are using we have to pass address because we are using pointer there for swapping, because we actually want to swap these elements and not the copies of the element. So this is the swapping function call. Okay, so here we have called this swapping function, and now what we have to do, we have to put this terminating condition for this do while loop. So what will be the terminating condition? When while I is less than equal to j, then we are going to terminated. That means that we have already traversed the array from complete array we have already traversed. So here we are going to stop. Okay, so this is the thing, and after that we have to again swap, because we want that our the pivot element should be at exactly at the partition point. So for that we have to perform swapping here. So array, the swapping will be swapping will take place between this end array mid and array j. Okay, so like this. Alright, so this swapping is done also, and then we have to return the partition point from where we have to divide the array in two portions. So we are going to return j here, and now we will make the quick sort logic. Again we will make a function here, quick sort, and what we are going to do in quick sort. Okay, so basically again there are three arguments in quick sort, which are yes, and now we will initialize, we will take a variable here, we will declare a variable, I will name it as partition point, so p point, and if low is less than high, that when what we have to do. So in recursion also we must have some terminating condition, otherwise recursion will go indefinitely. So for that I have put this condition, if low is less than high, then only it will call the function recursively, otherwise it will stop or terminate. Okay, so it p point, and here we are going to call this partition in the quick sort, and partition what we are going to pass, array and low and high. Okay, so this we are going to pass in the partition function. So this is the call of partition function. Again suppose then we get this partition point here, that we get from this partition function. So here what we are going to do, we are again going to call this quick sort algorithm recursively, again, and here what we are going to pass, here we will going to pass this array and also the low and this partition point minus 1. Okay, so this is basically the left sub array. Alright, again we have to apply quick sort to the right sub array also. So for right sub array what we have to write, array and partition point plus 1, and here what we have to do, here we have to put high. So this is basically the right sub array. So we have passed right sub array and left sub array for quick sort again. So this is basically the quick sort function. Now what we are going to do in main, we have to call quick sort in main also, then only. So here we are going to initialize the values of low as 0 and the value of high as, here how many elements are there in the array, there are 8 elements, so the value 7 elements, so there are 7 elements, so the value of high is 6. Okay, now we'll call the function quick sort from main, and what we are going to pass is array and the value of low and the value of high, like this. Okay, and that's all, and here we will print the sorted array. So let's see, let's save this program and then compile. Okay, sorry, it's a simple mistake. Actually the array is X here. Okay, so no problem. Yes, so we have here 10, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70 and 90. So this is the sorted array, and in this way quick sort works. And now I'm going to tell you how you can quick sort, the best strategy. So the basic key factor or the basic the thing is in quicksort is the selection of pivot point. How you select the pivot point? So there are various cases, various conditions, like you can select the first element as the pivot element always. Okay, you can do that. But in that case, there is a problem. If array is already sorted in ascending or descending order, then it is not going to work perfectly. So in that case, quicksort will not work efficiently. So the next thing is you can select the last element always as a pivot point. Then in that case also the same problem will arise. If the array is already sorted in ascending or descending order, then it is going to create problem for you, because then array will be partitioned like one element in one portion and the remaining array in the second portion, and this will happen again and again. On in this way, the quicksort will not perform good, and it will give you the running time of about order of n square. So this we definitely don't want this. And then we can select a middle element also as a pivot point. Okay, so that is the condition that you can do. You can also do some random element, some random element selected as the pivot element. So there are various strategies to apply this quicksort by changing this pivot element. The best strategy is that you should find out the median of all the elements. Okay, all the elements in the array, you can find out the median of all these elements, and then you can use that median as the pivot element. But finding pivot element is not easy. It will cost, it will also take time. It will also cost the running time. Then what is the thing? Then we can select first element from the array. The best strategy is you can select the first element, that is array 0, x0. You can select the last element xn minus 1, and then you can select the middle element like x 0 plus the last element low plus high upon 2, and these three elements like here it is 20, 90 and 70 you can select, and whichever element is the middle element, like in this case 20, 90, 70, the middle element is 70, so you should select 70 as the pivot element. So this is the best strategy. It will not cost any extra running time. It is just a linear time it will take. You will just take array 0, you will take array n minus 1, and then you will take a middle element, and whichever element is the middle element like 20, 90, 70, 70 is the median of these three elements, so you can take 70 as the pivot element, pivot point, and then we can be relaxed that quicksort will perform efficiently. Okay, so this is the best strategy to implement quicksort, and I hope you understood. And I will, this is left as an exercise for you that please, here I have taken the middle element as the pivot element, and in as an exercise you can select the median, that the method I have told you, and you can apply the quicksort in that manner. And please tell me in the comment that what you have done, and you can share the code with me also. And if you face some problem in selecting this median element as the pivot element, then please let me know, and I will try to solve your problem. And thank you for watching, and goodbye.